Council Talk, bringing future technology.
In taking Sri Lanka from a developing country to a developed country, ICT and BPO sector can play a very big role.
It's almost 7 decades we have got the freedom from British. But from that point onwards, we are boasting about the economic development, but we are yet to achieve it.
Initial investment for ICT and BPO services or companies is very less or it's minimal.
Very pathetic to see we don't have a single company in our top 10 list where it relates to ICT or technological.
There is a huge gap, 100 odd vacancies that are not filled purely due to the lack of professionals in the market.
Having over 2 decades of experience, he is a technopreneur and also an industry leader. And having vast experience in several industries including IT, apparel and many industries. So we have today with our show Mr. Chandana Ranasinghe. Welcome to the show.
Hi Prasanna.
So after going through a decade of period in the industry, we have seen that you have started a new venture called Acentura. And it started as a mere IT company, as a startup, and within a short span of 2 years, now it has grown into a mid-sized IT company. And we see that it's going to play a major role in future in Sri Lankan IT industry. So can you tell us your journey with Acentura and how it started and how it has evolved into this stage?
Yes, Prasanna. So one thing I would like to recognize is that Acentura was a spin-off of Acentura, and the foundation we got from Acentura was very, very helpful, or that actually was a great foundation for us to grow the company. And I think we faced the challenges in the industry in 2019 and 20 very successfully. That's how we brought the company up to where it is today.
When it comes to ICT, we can't forget about the globalization. So globalization has become a global topic. For example, if you take a device produced in America, the firmware might be developed in China and the software run in that machine might be developed in Sri Lanka. To that extent, the globalization has gone through the world. So how do you think you can face this globalization and how do you overcome challenges in this globalization?
Prasanna, it's a very important question because as you said, right now there's no local market, it's all global. So we have looked at this challenge in at least 3 ways. Number one, how do you attract good talent so that you can give a very good service to your customers? The second one is, how do you run and operate a company with this talented resource pool? And the third one is that, how do you become a trusted advisor to your customers so that you can solve the customer problems? So these are the 3 key areas that we have worked well so that we have ways to outperform some of the competitors locally as well as internationally.
To grow a company from a mere startup to this level, definitely you should have a proper foundation, and also to build this one, you should have a pillars of strength and pillars of success. Can you elaborate on that?
If you look at our pillars, the foundation of the company is our value system. We have brought in a leadership and a team that firmly believe in 3 key things. Number one, we have the respect to everybody in the company as well as our customers. Then we also practice integrity to the best we could do in all of our dealings with our internal team as well as the outside stakeholders. The third one, we always try to provide the leadership in solving either the internal problems or addressing the customer concerns. So these are the three key value pillars that we got inside the company. Then the second one is we also have handpicked a leadership team who comes together, has the attitude to solve problems together, and also they are in their respective areas, they are the experts who can actually provide the subject matter expertise to the company. The third angle or third aspect of or third pillar of the company is our operating process. We have brought in a process which basically blends the industry standards and our own best practices, which brings the best out of us to serve our customers.
It's almost 7 decades we have got the freedom from British. But from that point onwards, we are boasting about the economic development, but we are yet to achieve it. If you take the top 10 companies in US indexes, out of top 10, at least 80% of companies are either technological or ICT related. But it's very pathetic to see we don't have a single company in our top 10 list where it relates to ICT or technological. How do you see as a country we can overcome this situation, and how can the ICT help to overcome this situation?
I think, Prasanna, it's an excellent question. In my opinion, in taking Sri Lanka from a developing country to a developed country, ICT and BPO sector can play a very big role. If you take the countries in our region, including India, they have taken these services to a next level and grabbing a big revenue opportunity. In Sri Lanka has a couple of very clear advantages in becoming a BPO and ICT service provider. Number one, large part of our population has the capability to be part of this industry from the education levels and their professional qualifications. Secondly, the lot of youth in Sri Lanka, they are exposed to the international world. They can at least speak one foreign language, and their communication level is very high. Thirdly, in Sri Lanka, if you compare the other industries like the manufacturing, heavy equipments, etc., the initial investment for ICT and BPO services or companies is very less or it's minimal. So because of that, I think the Sri Lanka should really utilize the opportunity of growing ICT and BPO industry to become one of the top revenue generators.
In this present situation, with these thriving economic conditions and with the market competition, innovation is a key for differentiation. And how do you see this situation, and also how do you incorporate innovation in your entity to overcome this situation?
Prasanna, in this area or the sector we are operating, which is the information services or information technology, you don't get the same problem twice to solve. A lot of these problems are unique and we need a unique solution always. So this whole mindset of looking at a problem and see how we can solve that problem is the most important aspect or a most important ingredient of becoming successful. Innovation comes there because unless we look at very newer or unique way of solving that problem. It could be a new method, or it could be a new technology, or even it could be a completely a new approach. So either way, we need this innovative technology thinking and the mindset in order to be successful in the current industry today.
With the prevailing market conditions, as also with this global pandemic situation, the whole world is facing many challenges. As a company, how do you see what are the real challenges at the moment in the industry, and how is your company is trying to overcome or finding solution to this?
I can think about maybe about 2 to 3 challenges. Number one, at the moment, due to COVID situation, prevailing COVID situation from 2020 beginning, lot of the supply to the industry has been slowed down. The many universities and institutes did not finish their final year. Because of that, there is a huge gap in the market in terms of the entry and the mid-level professionals. We also face this. Today, we have probably 100 odd vacancies that are not filled purely due to the lack of professionals in the market. So what we are doing? So we are basically taking some of the fresh graduates as well as the ones who are finishing their degree programs in 2021, and we are training them to become professionals, so that rather waiting for somebody to do this job, we are doing it in-house. The second one, working from home also is a very challenging situation. Though it is viewed as a very convenient way of working, it has its own challenges too. For example, say meeting the productivity levels, information security and confidentiality problems, and also certain work-life balance problems are part of these challenges. So as a company, we have come up with a technology and process framework that can address some of these challenges. Thirdly, because of the COVID situation, as the economy is becoming very tough, certain sectors or certain segments in the market are facing a huge challenge in terms of getting their ICT services and paying for them. High productivity is demanded, value for money is demanded. So as a company, we are very conscious about increasing our quality levels while always delivering to the market with the best possible cost. As we discussed, today Acentura is placed as a small or medium-sized IT services provider for 4 main sectors: telco, insurance, lifestyle, and technology. So how are we going to grow? Number one, we have certain initiatives to increase our footprint in these existing segments. Now, for example, say if you take insurance, we are working with the insurance experts as well as technology providers who are bringing in these new and innovative technologies for insurers. And with that partnership, we are trying to basically take new services into the market as well as expand our existing services. The second strategy is that we are going to look at new segments and new geographies. For example, say, we had a very tiny presence in the Australia and the New Zealand market. We are right now working very aggressively to increase our footprint and presence in that particular market. Also, certain areas of technology growth like the blockchain, certain cloud technologies, IoT, and maybe ERP and the CRM systems. We are strategically looking at making certain investments into these areas and bringing in the expertise so that we can expand our services into some of these new segments and new geographies.
Okay, as an industry leader, and also as a CEO of a company and who's running a company for a long time, how are you optimistic about this situation, or how do you see our future?
I'm optimistic, and the reason I'm optimistic is that that's a way any organization would positively take a challenge. But however, we are also very conscious about the risk in this whole environment. So things like, for example, say certain geopolitical changes, certain economical changes, and certain technology changes may result in certain unexpected things as well. But however, we think in the current environment, as a country, Sri Lanka, as well as an organization, primarily operating or running the development center in Sri Lanka, Acentura has a great opportunity to expand and become a mid to large size organization in the near future.
Thank you very much, Chandana, for gracing our show. And also, indeed, it's a pleasure to host you in this show. And also, thank you very much for sharing your industry knowledge, which is very valuable for our audience. And also, until we meet again next time, be with us and be safe. Thank you.